Good morning, Quinnites. Good morning, Quinnites. Please remain standing. We will say the Pledge of Allegiance and sing the first verse of Lift Every Voice and Sing. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling seas. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us.
Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of a new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won.
Please remain standing. Dr. Williams will come forward with our opening prayer and scripture.
Heads bowed. Lord, it is in your presence our souls take delight. We are so grateful that you have afforded us another day of life, another day of living, another day of blessings. We thank you for grace, which is unmerited favor, something we don't deserve and could never earn. But because of your agape love for us, you give it to us freely. Thank you for the day we celebrate, the years of our college, the lives that the college has changed and transformed. Grateful for a diligent president and family and faculty and staff. Thank you for these students whom you send all around the world to come to this place called Paul Quinn College to learn and transform their minds. May this day be a blessing to you, and may you deposit into us something we can deposit into someone else. We ask it all in your matchless name, Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Amen. Scripture will come from 2 Timothy 2:15. Study to show thyself approved unto God, a workman who need not be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. Thank you.
You may be seated. If you have not already done so, please silence your cell phones. I now will ask President Sorrell will come forward with our welcome and occasion for this morning's convocation.
Good morning, Quinnites. Let's try one more time. I said, good morning, Quinnites. I guess perhaps a more appropriate welcome would be happy birthday. Now, for some of you, you may not be aware, but this is the occasion of our 152nd birthday. To exist for 152 consecutive years is no small accomplishment. It means that Paul Quinn College survived from being a thought in the basement of Metropolitan AME Church in Austin, Texas, in 1872, fresh out of slavery, fresh out of an experience that left so many of our people disillusioned, distraught, abused, but not without hope. The power of hope is what propelled Paul Quinn College forward. After the 5 years in Austin, Texas, we moved to Waco in 1877, which served as our home from 1990. If you are in Waco, you understand that Paul Quinn College did more than just be a school or be a campus. We built the black middle class in Waco. It is extraordinarily difficult to touch a family, an African-American family in Waco, and not touch a Paul Quinn College alum, employee, or someone who grew up hanging out on that campus. That is at the root of it, the genius of historically black colleges. We build things. We build our communities. We build our people. We are the caretakers of hopes and dreams. We carry those things forward. We find a way when often others would find no way. We never stop coming. I want you to remember that, because we live in a time where others would tell you that we don't exist, that our histories don't exist, that they don't matter, that they should not be taught, they should not be understood, that to do so is divisive. To do so is to render trauma upon someone else. What about our history? What about our stories? I'm sorry if the trauma you brought to my family is uncomfortable for you to remember. I'm not really sorry. I don't care. Right? I don't. Because we have to remember where we came from. We have to remember our stories. And so on the occasion of our 152nd consecutive year of existence, which means we survived Reconstruction, which means we survived the Great Depression, which means we survived Jim Crow, which means we survived a host of other things set out to destroy us, but we keep coming. That is the lesson for you, to keep coming, to never ever stop fighting, to never allow yourselves to be marginalized or ignored. That is not what a Quinnite does. A Quinnite stands up. A Quinnite demands respect. A Quinnite finds a way when others are discouraged or afraid. We know that we don't have to be afraid because we represent a nation, the Quinnite nation. And so as we celebrate this weekend, as we celebrate this next year, I want you to remember where you came from. Remember whose you are and who you are. I want our students from KIPP and from Haynes Global Prep to remember that you are not just members of that community, you are members of this community. And the expectations that we have for our students are the expectations that we have for you. We want you to be great. We want you to be bold. We want you to be unapologetic. We want you to walk with your heads held high. We want you to be proud, proud of yourselves, proud of the fact that you are part of something larger. And so, remember these things as we turn this celebration into a celebration tonight where we welcome new members to our Greek community. As we welcome people all weekend, our alums who are coming back to celebrate the wonderful things we have in store for them tomorrow, as you celebrate our gospel choir on Sunday. Remember why we have that opportunity. It's because others came before us and they were unafraid. They were unapologetic, and they kept going. We will keep going. Two special groups of guests, three I would like to recognize. First, I would like to acknowledge the wonderful First Lady from Wiley University, Ms. Catherine Felton. Please give her a hand. She is here with two of her nieces, and we welcome them as well. We're thrilled to have you guys. I would like to acknowledge all of our alums who are here. Please stand up. It is always so wonderful to see you all. Thank you for being here. And then the third person that I would like to acknowledge is going to be our next speaker, the president of our National Alumni Association, a 2009 graduate of Paul Quinn College, a student who I remember when I was a young president here, and she was a student and doing great things. She's a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. She was a campus leader. She has been influential in the Alumni Association. She is someone who will always speak her mind, who gives great ideas, which I appreciate. She has jumped in as the Alumni Association president and engaged and helped us recruit students and just be a presence, so we are thankful for that. So without any further ado, I would like to give you this year's Paul Quinn College National Alumni Association president, Ms. Natalie Scott. This is why I love my alums. She advised me, she said, you know, you forgot that I was the first Quinnite of the year, which is absolutely true. She won that award. That was the first time we gave it. So this is what I'm talking about. Don't be silent. If people take umbrage over the fact that you correct them and make suggestions, that is their problem, not yours. Right? And when people correct you, be graceful. Be appreciative. Thank you, Madam President. All right.
Always good funs and jokes. Good morning. We are in chapel. I wanted to give praises to God first. I did want to give acknowledgement to President Sorrell, the Board of Trustees, Trustee Dunner in her absence. I also wanted to give acknowledgement to the previous administrations, the Alumni Association, faculty and staff, and to you, the Quinnites of Paul Quinn College. It is indeed an honor and a pleasure to stand before you as the president of the National Alumni Association. We are truly blessed to have the opportunity to call ourselves Quinnites, of an institution with so much history, an institution that after 152 years is still standing and shaping the minds and lives of so many. The current administration's goal and mission is to bridge the gap between the students and all the young and senior alums, to collaborate and work together towards making Paul Quinn College the #1 college in the nation. We have a legacy here, and it's going to take all of us to come together to ensure that the institution has everything it needs to thrive. At this time, what I wanted to do was take a moment of silence and remembrance for our very own Mr. Alvin Jones, who has gone to be with the Lord on March 22nd, 2024. As I prepare to take my seat, will all of the alumni please stand? President Sorrell. On behalf of the National Alumni Association, we would like to present you with a check of $30,000. Thank you.
Well, thank you, President Scott. Let's give the Alumni Association another round of applause. Thank you for your continued support of our current and future students. And now we will have a musical selection from Ladarius Waits.
Every praise is to
Can we please give an extra round of applause to Mr. Willis, who has been playing for us for 2 decades, all right? We appreciate you. Every time I hear him play, it makes me wish I could sing, which I cannot. All right. We are now at the part of the program where we are going to introduce to you Miss Paul Quinn. I think we can do a little bit better than that. All right. We are now at the part of the program where we're going to introduce you to Miss Paul Quinn. Before I do that, though, I want to recognize another of our alums who works tirelessly on the Miss Paul Quinn pageant and program and process. This alum is someone who is a through and through Quinnite. She came to us to finish what her beloved and late sister started. Her sister was the one, her twin sister was the one who started here first. And, due to an untimely health issue, she passed away. But Amber never missed a beat. She enrolled, she showed up, she engaged, she has a family, but none of that, even on the most difficult days, she kept going. She participated in internships. She attended a special program at, was it Harvard's Divinity School? Where is Amber? Harvard's Divinity School. She has always been someone who, the joy inside of her was infectious and resonated to everyone or around. And so I just want to say, if you would come forward so we could actually see you. Thank you, instead of trying to hide out in the back. Please join me in thanking Amber Holmes. Thank you. We are deeply appreciative of all that you do, the sacrifices you make, your advocacy for the program and for the young ladies. We are a better pageant and a better process because of you, and just thank you. Thank you. So, now let me introduce you to Miss Paul Quinn. That is our Brazilian cohort. Paul Quinn College attracts students from all over the world. And I know that sometimes we become lost in this idea that historically black colleges are institutions only for black American students. And that's just not the case, right? We are an institution for Quinnites, for people who understand what it means to embrace our institutional ethos of we over me. People who understand the 4 L's of Quinnite leadership. And the most important of those 4 is to leave places better than you found them. People who believe, people who dream, people who are willing to give it everything that they have. From the moment that I met her in Summer Bridge last summer, Daisa Goncalves, blessed, I practiced that, Goncalves, my apologies, right? I'm working on my Brazilian pronunciations. Pray for me. But from the moment that I met her, she is someone that her energy was apparent. She wanted to succeed. She was a disciplined student. When she didn't understand something, she spoke up. She was a joy to have in class. I have watched her as a student athlete. I have watched her engage on campus. My 9-year-old daughter loves her, right? Considers her one of her friends, okay? She is someone who just represents what a Quinnite can and should be. So it is with great joy that I introduce you to our 24-25 Miss Paul Quinn, Daiza Goncalves.
Hello guys, good morning. My name is Thaisa Gonçalves. I'm from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Sorry, I'm nervous. Thank you. I'm from Brazil. I'm 23 years old. I play for the women's soccer team. I'm the captain of the team. I'm the corporate intern in communication for the school, for the work program. I'm also the manager I'm the social media manager for the work program and for the soccer team, and that was the homecoming queen. I want to say thank you to press and everyone, the staff members, the students, everyone over here who gave me these opportunities to be a Miss Paul Quinn. I'm so happy to be here. I want to tell you guys one story about Summer Bridge. I don't know if the press is going to remember about that, but my first week here at Summer Bridge, who follows me on Instagram, I post my whole life. So I was posting about Summer Bridge, and I got so many texts saying why I choose to come to Paul Quinn. So a lot of people was telling me that Paul Quinn wouldn't help me, that whenever I graduate here, I would get a good job, that my graduating here wasn't good. They was just saying bad stuff about Paul Quinn. And me as a Christian, I was just like praying and say, if God sent me over here, it was about to change. Thank you. So I went straight to press, and I was like, press, I'm hearing a lot of stuff, people saying bad stuff about Paul Quinn. I don't have my family over here. My family doesn't know nothing about the schools over here, and I want you to be honest with me as a dad, and to tell me if this school is going to help me. I'm Brazilian. I don't have a good English, and I really want to know if should I stay here or if should I transfer. And the press told me that if you are the one who make your Quinnite, you are the one who's going to change everything. So if I be here, if I follow the rules and I get all the opportunities, I was about to be a good Quinnite. And whenever he told me that, I was like, okay, so everything is on me. Whenever I graduate, it's going to be on me. So I was going on Summer Bridge, and the press was teaching me about the foils. Live a place better than you found. Lead whenever you are. Live a life that matters. And love is something greater than yourself. And I really keep things on me this past semester. And this past semester, I got my corporate. Over here, I got the 18 on my ledger. I'm Brazilian, so I can have financial aid. I can have anything to help me. So I was fighting to get my corporate job as my first semester here. And I got that. I was walking through some rooms that I never thought me by myself here, woman Brazilian, I was about to walk to. And I was like, okay, so Paul Quinn is about to help me in the first semester. And I was the social media manager for the 2 Instagrams. I was the captain of my team. I got the Red River Athletic Conference for my character. And that was the homecoming queen. So in the end of the semester, I was like, a lot of people was telling me, don't go over here to this door. And I just changed my mind. I was like, I'm going over here, and I'm going to change that. So I was just like in my mind, like, imagine those people who was telling me not to come, and they see how I am right now. How the whole stuff that I already got over here in my first semester. So I want to build the story over here. I want to change the generation that talk bad about Paul Quinn. And I want to live a place better than I found. Me as a senior year, I miss Paul Quinn. Next year, I want to change. Me as a manager for the both Instagram and for my marketing skills, I want to change. I want to do a website for the athletics. I want to change the work program. I want the sports. I want to put outside that Paul Quinn is good. Paul Quinn give out good opportunities, but we need to follow the rules. So if we follow how they teach us, we are going to give a good opportunity. So me as a Miss Paul Quinn, I promise you guys that I'm going to be fighting for this school. Because whenever I walk over here, people told me that this school wasn't good, and I want to change that. I want to follow my four L's that Press teach me in Summer Bridge, and I don't want to just say, I want to change by actions. And thank you guys so much.
Amen. We are now at the part of the program where we're going to recognize the excellence among our students. Dr. Grant?
In my role as interim Vice President of Academic Affairs, I have the honor of recognizing students who have achieved honor roll status. In the spring, we have Founders Day and also Honors Day, and we combine these convocations so that we can celebrate not only institution, but also our students who have achieved academic greatness. And so I made a point of communicating with students both here on campus and our online students that we were recognizing those who have made the honor roll and also who have made other achievements that would be recognized today. And so I cannot call every student by name. We'll not even try to do that. But I will highlight those students whose names were identified as having special or unique circumstances or achievements and were identified by their instructors, whether they were here in person are taking online classes. And it is important to note that some of our online students have not yet set foot on campus and may be watching Convocation today. And we will meet some of those such students at graduation next month. And so always remember our Paul Quinn students who are toiling away online and are still Quinnites. And so first of all, I'd like to start with the top honors. A student who has earned a 3.8 cumulative GPA in their Paul Quinn classes, all the way up to a 4.0, has achieved President's List status. If you are here present today, would you please stand? And if you are online, I'm also saying congratulations to you. Do we have any President's List? Please stand up. Be proud. You have a sash on. You have to, there you go. Thank you. And then we have the Vice President's Honor Roll, which is for students who have earned a cumulative grade point average of 3.5 up to 3.799. If you are on the Vice President's Honor Roll, would you please stand? So we have other students in the audience who have sashes on. I would like all of you to stand. I know that there's a Mr. Tiger. There is, come on, stand up so I can recognize you. Miss Tiger. You don't have, these students were recognized at the student gala last night, and I want to say congratulations to you, and wear your sash all weekend, okay? She's holding her hand up because she doesn't have hers on, but wear it all weekend so that we can congratulate you. Go ahead and be seated. And the last category of students I wanted to recognize are for maybe not a 3.79 or 3.9, but we have a number of students who have been awarded for scholarships. We are going back into the study abroad experience, and like as before, almost immediately out of the gate, we have students who have been recognized and awarded scholarships to study abroad. Would Robert Beller III please stand? Stephen Carter. Juan Mendoza. Leah Noel. Kapori Woods. And if there are any other students present who have received study abroad scholarships, would you please stand? So these students are receiving partial funding to go abroad, and there is CIEE Frederick Douglass O'Connell Scholars Grant for study abroad. So congratulations and enjoy when you go overseas. You may be seated. I also would like to recognize Mr. Trent Dixon. Please stand. This summer, Trent will be going to the University of California Emerging Managers and Leaders Summer Program. Congratulations. And I have a number of students who were recognized for their stellar academic achievement of almost perfect grades in online classes. And I'm going to call their names, and these are 100% online students. So Andrew Babcock, go ahead. Troy Duncan, Rashida Haney, who was also identified by 3 of her professors, Sharon Hanna, Jose Ramos, Jill Marie Rosario, and Jasmine Tagart, who Judge Landers said could teach the class at this point. And before I take my seat, we are, of course, a work college, and we always want to support and encourage our students who are in the on-campus work program, but also in the corporate work program. Scholarship funds that are earned through those positions are what allow our students to limit their reliance on student loans. And so if I call your name, it is because you have been nominated by the work program team for your stellar accomplishments in either the on-campus work program or the corporate work program. Kendall Baxter, Stephen Carter, Zahia Carter, Taylor Goree, Alea LaCoy, Tyrone Washington. Seattle is always in the house, right? And Kapori Woods. And then for the corporate work program, Miss Mandy Brooks, Kayla Butler, Waymar Cortez, and Waymar actually might be at work. The Carroll Clinic hired him as soon as he finished his corporate work program hours, so he actually might be at work this morning. And then we have Ajalon Washington. Those are the recognees that I have. So let's give them a round of applause one more time. Thank you. You may be seated. And now on behalf of Dr. Turner and the Student Experience team, I have some awards to present. This is called the Lifesaver Award and was created by Paul Quinn students for the purpose of recognizing faculty or staff who have saved the life of a Quinnite, whether that be in class, in one of those come to Jesus conversations, helping connect them to the resources that are needed for them to be successful. So if I call your name, would you please stand and come forward to receive your Lifesaver Award? Mrs. Clarice Weeks. Dean Maurice West. Ms. Caprinia Taylor. Come on up on the pulpit, Mrs. Weeks. Come on up. Come on up. You got to come up here. Oh, they snuck this one in here and didn't tell me. Dr. Kiswanda Grant. And Dr. Lola Esmew. Lifesaver Award. Lola. Dean West. Come on. And Caprinia. Okay, now President Sorrell will come forward to introduce our keynote speaker.
Can we have one more round of applause for our amazing staff? The wonderful part about things like that is the recognition of people who are just loving on our students, right? Who show up for them every day and give them encouragement and give them support. And that's part of what makes this institution so special, is there are so many people who do that. And I also want to recognize our students who were recognized earlier. We have alums that are doing extraordinary things. And many times their exceptional abilities become apparent during their time here. It is well known that we are taking students to outstanding graduate programs. We have a student who is on a full ride scholarship at the Wharton School of Business. We just graduated another student this past spring who was at George Washington getting his master's in public policy. Yet another one of our alums finished Texas Southern last spring with a degree in education. Another one of our young alums just recently, as in this week, found out that she was going to receive a full scholarship to get her master's in public policy at Pepperdine. Our students are going on. Now let's give that, all those deserve a hand. The cool part is you all are all next. The academic achievements, the extracurriculars, the fellowships, the awards, those are all the things that lay the groundwork for those types of opportunities, for incredible jobs, for incredible careers, for incredible academic degrees. This is where it starts, and so we are immensely proud of you, just as we're immensely proud of today's speaker. So I first met today's speaker when he and his brother were in my summer bridge class, and they were recommended, recruited, sent by Presiding Elder Williams, who told us about these two brothers that he knew from his time in California. And they showed up and were always just interesting guys, right? Always had a different viewpoint on things, were wonderful students, asked great questions, were engaged, and had servants' hearts. And not all servant hearts manifest themselves on day-to-day activities on this campus. What was interesting about Aaron's was that he had a passion for the YMCA. And so as a student, he got internships at the different Ys around the city. And I used to run into him in some of the Ys when I'd be in there with my son or working out. And I mean, I think my favorite one was to run into you at the one in the Park Cities, right? Which, if you've been to the Park Cities, there are not a lot of people that look like us working out in their Ys, right? Or working in the Y. But I'm telling that story because even then, he had a plan, right? He had a plan. People will tell you that Crenshaw, the Crenshaw community in Los Angeles, is a community that you need to be afraid of. That's not my experience in Crenshaw, right? That's not his experience in Crenshaw. And what he's done is he went back home after he graduated and began pouring into the community that poured into him. He engaged with the Y that engaged with him. And so today, he is the executive director of the Crenshaw YMCA. Which is kind of cool to come back home to run the institutions that invested in you. And so, you know, a couple years ago, we made a decision that on all of our convocations at commencement, our speakers were going to be alums. They were going to be alums because we think our folks should be celebrated and their stories should be told and their voices should be heard because it connects to the community differently. And so I am immensely proud as someone who has been to the Crenshaw Y, as someone who is a supporter of the executive director of the Y and of the YMCA itself, right? Because it's one thing to talk about supporting our institutions. Y'all support them financially, right? The places where our people are, support them too. That's part of what it means to be a family. And so I'm just immensely proud to be able today to introduce to you Mr. Aaron Hall from the class of 2019, who is this year's Founders Day speaker. The next voice that you will hear after another rendition will be our speaker, Mr. Aaron Hall.
My
You are the source of my strength and the strength of my life. And I lift my hands in total praise to you. Thank you. Thank you for that selection. Thank you for both selections. Thank you for Dr. Sorrell for that great introduction. What he didn't tell you was that he flunked me in that summer bridge class. But we still remember all the lessons. All right, how we doing today? How are we, Quinites? Everybody's well? Come on now. We can do better than that. How are we doing? All right. I'm only going to speak for about 55 minutes today, so I'm not going to speak too long. So everybody be cool. Thank you for Dr. Grant for the invite. And not only thank you to Press for the intro, but for his friendship, not only while I was a student, but since I've graduated, he's always been there. He's been a phone call away when I needed to vent or when I needed advice or anything like that. So I'm really thankful for that. And there's not many presidents of universities that will be there for their students. So definitely thank you for that, sir. I'm forever appreciative for that and for this school. So it feels amazing to be back on campus. I haven't been back on campus since I've graduated, which is not a good thing to say, and it's something that I need to improve on. But being able to see some of the people who really had a stake in my education and in my personal development has really brought a joy to my soul. I see Nurse Davis sitting right here, who used to nurse me back to health when I would hurt myself in the weight room, and she'd be right there giving me that ibuprofen and a nice word to say also. And then I just seen Dean West leave, and Dean West is one of the main reasons I'm still with the YMCA at times when I wanted to quit, and he would say, stick with it. You know, there's a future in there, so I appreciate that. And Uncle Charles, I saw Uncle Charles earlier. Make sure y'all treat my uncle good, because he's a great man, and he'll do anything that you need. You know, I'm telling you, Uncle Charles took care of me. I can't begin to tell you how Uncle Charles took care of me. So, and then I see my favorite professor sitting here, Dr. James. Great brother. I used to think I was doing good in this class, and he'd give me back that paper with all that red on it. And then you know how Dr. James is. Mr. Hall, you know. I'm like, Dr. James, I thought nah. So it's really great. All right. So in 1872, a group of preachers got together to try to solve a problem. Hundreds of thousands of freed souls were out, and they wanted something better. Prayers, they wanted to live a life worth living. So they got together and they said, we're going to teach these folks some skills. We're going to teach them how to paint. We're going to teach them how to weld, because they didn't have these skills when they came out. You see, they'll tell you that Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves, but as my good brother Dr. King said, emancipation for the Negro is really freedom to hunger. It was freedom to the winds and the rains of heaven. It was freedom without food to eat or land to cultivate. So therefore, it was freedom and famine at the same time. You see, they kicked us out of a house that we didn't own and told us to pull ourselves up with bootstraps that we don't have. But we didn't stop there. We got together and we created this school that we have right here. The first name of the school was the Connectional School for the Education of Negro Youth. That is a long name, but it's a good name, and it's right to the point. So, that first year in 1872, like Fred said, they got together in the basement of that church, and 152 years later, here we are, looking in a way they could never imagine, with rights they could have never imagined, standing on their shoulders while they lift us up to heights that they could have never imagined. And because we are all here, all of our stories are now intertwined with this institution that started just to give people a chance at self-sustainability. Like my story, like Paul Quinn, my story also is because of the AME Church. I'm a fourth generation AME. My great-grandparents started going to Ward AME in 1959. And my mom still goes there today, and I was there on Easter. And I'm not gonna tell you how many times I go a year, but just know that I was there on Easter, and that was that. Unfortunately, being a good church boy did not translate into being a good student. I was never a good student. I'm not ashamed to say that now. In high school, my grandfather would literally get up out the bed to pick me up to take me to school because I wouldn't go. And he'd drop me off in front of the school, and I would wait until he pulled off and walk to the bus stop and leave for no good reason. And not because anybody didn't believe in me or thought I was worthless. I don't have that story. You know how people will come up here and tell you, I had nobody in my life who ever believed in me. Everybody just told me I was ugly and dumb, and that's all they ever said to me, and nobody said anything nice. And that's not my story. My story is one of people pouring into me when they should not have, when I showed no interest, when I didn't deserve it, when I didn't show anything for all of the love that they poured into me. And they still did it. I've known Reverend Williams since I was about 14 years old. And he poured into me almost every day. I was his junior steward. And he'd give me all type of life lessons. And he never forgot about me. So once I flamed out of high school, and I was, 23, 24, and I'm living on my uncle's couch, and I have no job, I have no money, I have nothing but lies to tell people about what I'm doing, I get a call. And who's on the phone? Aaron. I can't get that low. What are you doing, Aaron? Well, I'm not doing nothing, Reverend Williams. And this is the exact conversation. Do you want an opportunity to change your life? I'm on the board at Paul Quinn College. You can come down here, you can get an education, you can do something. While he's talking to me, I'm literally on my last leg. I have no idea what I'm going to do. I have nothing going on. So I say, of course. I had one question. I said, can I bring my brother? He said, of course. This was May. In August, we were here. Lived right there in the Greens. Shout out to the Greens, man. We lived in the Greens for 3 years. And one of the things that I love about Paul Quinn is the people. Miss Weeks, Mrs. Weeks, and Mr. Weeks. Everybody here wants you to be great. Every single person. And when you're not being great, they're gonna tell you. When I didn't show up for a class, when people didn't see me in a couple of days, they'd say something. Oh, Aaron, I haven't seen you in a while. When we had class in the library and Mrs. Weeks didn't see me, and I come the next week, oh, I didn't see you last week. But that accountability matters. It makes you want to do better when people rely on you, when people believe in you, when people think that you're worth something. It makes you want to rise up and fulfill that. So while I was a freshman, I started working with the YMCA. And I was making no money. I think I made $9 an hour, and I worked like 15 hours a week. Yeah, right? Yeah. But it was a job that gave me a sense of purpose. I was able to help people. I was able to have a personality. I was able to do things I liked. And once again, it had great people around it. So once I was able to transfer to the Moody YMCA in Highland Park, that's where my career started to take off. I was able to become one of 2 black directors while I was still in school. And then once I graduated, I was able to get another promotion. And that's only because of skills that I learned here, because of the hard lessons I've learned here, because of the fines that I received over dress code here. Yeah. I used to walk into Adams and Marquita would be like, dress code, just like that. But that matters because there aren't any excuses. It's a black and white world. You either have it or you don't. You either did it or you didn't. You're either here or you're not. So Paul Quinn prepares you for that. Because ain't no half-stepping. Ain't no half-stepping. You gotta come prepared. You gotta come ready. And if you do, I guarantee you the world will be your oyster. Nothing can prepare you for the world like Paul Quinn. Because at Paul Quinn, you will always have something to come back to, a person to talk to, a shoulder to lean on, a shoulder to cry on. It's all here. I really believe this is one of the greatest institutions in the world, not because of all the glitz and the glamour, not because we have an enrollment of 2,000 students, not because we have an endowment of $500 million, no, because we care. And I guarantee you there is not a place on this country that you will find people that care like they care here. And if I could leave you with something today. Because you are here, you are destined to be great. But destined is just a destination. You still have to get there. You don't want to, one thing that I heard a lot when I was young was potential. Oh man, you got potential. You got potential. But somebody told me potential is not infinite. Potential can be past tense real quick. You can have potential and then it's, oh, he had potential. She had potential, but they didn't capitalize on that potential. You have greatness in you, but you must capitalize on that greatness. You must do the work every single day when no one's looking, the work that you can't post on Instagram, the work that you can't show other people, the work that only you and yourself know about. You must do that every single day to get what you want, to be successful. And you define success. Success is subjective. There's no one way to say someone is successful. My success is not your success, and vice versa. So be happy, be self-sustainable, and leave places better than you found them. Because we went here, we can't just worry about ourselves. You can't just say, oh, I'm gonna get mine, which is a longer conversation I used to like to have with Dr. James about integration and how we integrated into the world's thinking of, I just need to get mine, and I don't need to worry about something else. As long as I got my house, as long as I got my car, as long as my kids look good, as long as I look good, I don't need to worry about my brothers and sisters who are not where I am. But we don't do that here. Once you get your education from this university, from this college, you need to go out into the world and make something better. Show somebody the way that can't see the light. Because somebody has helped all of us. So it's our job to help somebody else. And if you do not remember anything that I say, please remember that it is your job, it is your obligation to help someone with all of your talents, with your degrees, with your wit, with your laughter, with your character. Help someone. And if we continue to help each other, then we won't have to worry about them taking things out of schools or taking books out of schools or trying to whitewash history, as Prez was saying earlier. We won't have to worry about any of that because we'll all be elevated. Elevate your people. Only what you do for your people will matter in the end. Remember that. I appreciate you all listening to me today. Thank you, and God bless Paul Quinn.
Can we have another round of applause for Alumni Hall? It really is special to be able to hear from our alums in this way, to hear their experiences, because there is no one story. And listening to how other people succeeded can inspire you to succeed on your own walk, and that is incredibly important. There is no one story. There is no one path forward. And Aaron's message serves to remind us of that. Dr. Grant, do we have any other announcements? Okay.
Just a few announcements. Immediately following Convocation, we will gather at the Heritage Bell for a word of prayer in honor of Founders Day. There are many, many events going forward through Sunday. I'm not going to list them all off, but please govern yourselves accordingly and attend, or as they said in my college days, get in where you fit in, please. If you have questions about the event that Dr. James is planning to take 10 students, there are 10 seats available to go on the Civil Rights Tour to Mississippi. If you are interested in going, please see Dr. James immediately. As I said, there are only 10 seats available. Next Saturday, there will be a Fulbright Symposium here on campus. If you are interested in combining research and study abroad, then this event could be for you, and that applies to faculty, staff, and students. There were flyers in the lobby. Please pick up one, and also you can see Dr. James for more information. We have a group of students who are leaving tomorrow at 5 a.m. to go to Los Angeles, California to compete in the Honda Campus All-Star. Thank you. Honda Quiz Bowl. Are any of the team members here? Yes, please stand. They are competing, traveling with Miss Neal. We will say our prayers for you and wish you positive thoughts and clear thoughts so you can answer all those questions and bring home the trophy. We are without our color guard today because it is STAR testing season. So many of you have probably wondered, where are the young people from Carter High School? Well, because it's testing season, they would not allow them to take a field trip to Paul Quinn. So that's why they are not here today. President Sorrell, do you have any other closing remarks? No? Well, some of you have been waiting for this opportunity. Would you please stand so we may sing our alma mater? Forever like a beacon light, may Paul Quinn College ever stand to right the human race around and bless and brighten all the land. Paul Quinn College, son of our souls, we will strive to bring you instant day that time unfolds. Inspired by God and man, you are our shrine. Compare Paul Quinn, our dear alma mater fair. We're going to have to keep working on the alma mater, okay? We may have to have rehearsals before the next convocation. Dr. Williams will come forward for benediction. Please remain standing at your seat for the benediction. The platform party will recessional, and we will ask you all to join us and walk with us to the Heritage Bell for prayer.
May the Lord bless you, and may the Lord keep you. May the Lord make his face to shine upon you and give you peace. May the Lord be gracious unto you. May he bless you when you go out, and may he bless you when you come back in. May his hands cover your household, and keep you and your family safe until we meet again. Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, amen.